Hello, good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Hello, good evening and welcome to my channel. How are you this evening? Hope you're fine. Hope you had a fabulous Easter, and I hope everything is going well in this climate that you're in. Alrighty, I'm just here to do my March wrap-up. I read quite a number of books. I did really well, even though the slump came over me. I picked up one book and I was like, it ain't gonna work. So let me just get into the books I read this month. Some of them I already told you about, so I won't be telling you about those again. Like the ones up to the Outer Space Mystery. But I read a couple of graphic novels, because that's what works for me. Whenever I feel a slump coming on, I can just start reading graphic novels and be perfectly fine. Alrighty, so I read Monster by Walter Dean Myers. It's a graphic novel. It's a YA graphic novel. It's about a young boy who was accused of murder by association. He was actually accused of being the lookout person for the guys who went into a store and during the process of a robbery, they killed the shop owner. So he was accused of being an accomplice to murder. So this YA book follows the trial and what occurs and his thought process while the trial is going on. Alrighty, I actually did already note this down that I read Lee Child, The Killing Floor, and the Walter Mosley book. The Jim Butcher book I also read, and this book I ended up reading. This is the only book I ended up finishing for Tome Topple. So one book for Tome Topple. It's the first time I've ever only finished one book. I did the audiobooks, but I didn't finish the audiobook. So my physical book, Ghost Story Jim Butcher, number 13 in the Dresden Files series. I also read When No One Is Watching for March Mystery Madness, and Deacon King Kong for any book that you want to read. This is actually kind of sort of sounded like a mystery, but it wasn't a mystery. But a lot of things fell into place and everybody was just wondering what happened. The gentleman was just drunk, and drunk off his skunk. I'm gonna just spoil that. Drunk off his skunk, you know, and did what he did. So yeah, you can read the rest of it. I'm sorry about that. I was like, I thought it was gonna be a big mystery, but yeah. Deacon King Kong. It was really good. In the way of James McBride, he does tell a good story. He does have a lot of colorful characters interwoven into the story, giving you a good detail of their backstory, and you know, he did a really well. It's a really well written book, but it's not really a mystery. It's just A story of life. I'm going to call it of life. Certain people, life. Alright, the next book I read was another graphic novel. It's called The Perfect Mate by Joe Busher and Claude Spence. I hope it is a sci-fi graphic novel, and this one really took the cake. If you can get it off your apps, well, I got mine on Oopla. It's The Perfect Mate, issue 1. Check it out. Black Magic, another graphic novel, volume 1, Awakening, and that was also a mystery because she's a detective. She's a detective in the police force, but she is also a witch, and she's out doing something one night when she gets a call to come in. A gentleman is asking for her personally, and he has taken hostages, and he wants her to come in and negotiate the terms for him to release the hostage. So this is really a good one. And the next one I listened to was The Jigsaw Man by Nadine Matson. The Jigsaw Man takes place in England. I'm just going to give you a general country in England. It's a body has been found, and it's in pieces. The head is not there, the foot is somewhere else, the hand is another place, and the detective has been called in. When I was listening to it, it's as I said, it's an audiobook. When I was listening to it, I was like, is there another book before this one? So when I went to look, they say it's her debut novel. It's her debut, and it came out in March. So it read like a second book, because they kept referring to the character who had done a previous set of murders just like this one. So yeah, you can pick that one up. It's a really good one. It's a little graphic in the way the murders are committed and it's been described. But The Jigsaw Man, it's a really good book. Murder at the Mayfair Hotel by C.J. Archer. This is a cozy mystery. This was also counted towards my March Mystery Madness read. This young lady has arrived in London, and a murder has occurred, and all of a sudden she turns into a big old detective. Oh, I had a chat the other day on one of our other channels and we were talking about how suddenly people who have never been detective, who have never investigated anything, who are suddenly decide that, yeah, I'm a detective now, so I can solve a mystery. And she made a fine model of it, and then, you know, the water led her right back out onto clearing it up and solving the mystery. So that's The Murder at the Mayfair Hotel. Then I read Borrowed Time by Tracy Clark. That's another detective. That's another one counting to my March Mystery Madness read. And I really enjoyed this series. It's about a young lady who was a police officer, and she got injured on the job. And you know, she decides, you know what, let me get out of the policing business, but I will be police adjacent, sorry. And she hung up her shingle, and she's now a private detective. We're taking on cases for hire. And a young man that she knows asked her to investigate the death of his friend in Borrowed Time by Tracy Clark. Alrighty, so all in all, I read between ebooks and audiobooks, I read 12, and physical books, I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 and 2, 5. I read 5 physical books. So it wasn't a bad reading month, and if you see any of these that you would like to read, drop me a comment down below. Let's chat about them. Thank you for watching my video. Be well, be blessed, and I'll see you next time.